Themistocles, c. 524 to 459 BCE, was an Athenian statesman and general whose tactical genius and political foresight were the primary reasons for the Greek survival against the Persian Empire. Unlike most of his contemporaries, he was a new man, a populist who rose through merit rather than noble lineage. Early life and political rise. Themistocles was born to Neocles, an undistinguished middle-class Athenian, and a mother who was likely a non-Athenian foreigner, potentially Thracian or Carian. This background made him a natural champion of the Thetes, the lower-class citizens of Athens. The populist strategy. He understood that his power base lay with the common people. He spent his youth winning over the masses, famously memorizing the name of every citizen. The Piraeus. During his archonship in 493 BCE, he convinced Athens that their future was at sea. He began the fortification of the Piraeus, the natural harbour of Athens, to replace the exposed beaches of Phalerum. The naval law of 483 BCE. The turning point in Athenian history occurred when a massive vein of silver was discovered in the state-owned mines at Larium. While most politicians wanted to distribute the windfall to the citizens, Themistocles had a different vision. He knew the Persian king Xerxes was preparing to avenge the defeat at Marathon. Using a local conflict with the island of Aegina as a pretext, he persuaded the assembly to use the silver to build a fleet of 200 triremes. The Second Persian War, 480 to 479 BCE, when the Persian invasion began, Themistocles was the de facto leader of the Greek resistance, despite the formal command being held by Sparta. The wooden walls. When the Delphic oracle prophesied that wooden walls would protect Athens, Themistocles interpreted this as the hulls of the ships he had built. He successfully organized the total evacuation of Athens, leaving the city to be burned by the Persians so the Greeks could fight on their own terms. The Battle of Salamis. Themistocles realized the Greeks could only win in narrow waters where the Persian numerical advantage would be neutralized. The deception. He sent a trusted slave, Sicinus, to Xerxes with a secret message, claiming the Greeks were terrified and intended to flee under the cover of night. The trap. Xerxes took the bait and sent his fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis. The victory. The heavy Persian ships became jammed together, unable to maneuver. The lighter Greek ships rammed and sank them. Xerxes watched the destruction of his navy from a throne on Mount Aigaleos. 4. Post-war power and tricking Sparta. After the Persian retreat, Sparta, fearing the rise of Athenian power, demanded that Athens not rebuild its city walls. Themistocles traveled to Sparta as an envoy, but stalled the negotiations for weeks. Meanwhile, every man, woman, and child in Athens worked day and night to build the Themistoclean wall. By the time the Spartans realized the trick, the walls were defensible, and Athens was secure. Ostracism and exile. Themistocles' arrogance and his populist tendencies eventually alienated both the Athenian aristocrats and the Spartans. In roughly 471 BCE, he was ostracized, voted into a 10-year exile. The flight. While in exile in Argos, he was accused by the Spartans of being involved in a treasonous plot with the Persian general Pausanias. The final irony. Fleeing for his life, Themistocles ended up at the court of the new Persian king, Artaxerxes I. Rather than executing his father's greatest enemy, Artaxerxes was so impressed by Themistocles' intellect that he made him governor of Magnesia. Death. Themistocles died in Magnesia around 459 BCE. While some legends claim he committed suicide by drinking bull's blood to avoid helping the Persians attack Greece, most historians believe he died of natural causes. Historical legacy. He is remembered as the father of Athenian naval power. Without his 200 triremes, the Greek city-states would almost certainly have been absorbed into the Persian Empire, fundamentally altering the trajectory of Western civilization. He was the rare leader who combined the long-term vision of a statesman with the cunning of a master.